Hey there, Catholic bakers, it's Ariel, and today I'll be showing you how to make the best carrot cake. Today we are going to be making a super moist, perfectly spiced carrot cake. Now, carrot cakes are usually baked around springtime season. I am showing you this one after Easter, but you can still make it for spring gatherings, birthday celebrations. It is super good for any time. So let's get started by doing our prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for always being with us no matter what. We ask for mercy for our faults. Forgive us for not having been perfect, but we will never get tired of giving thanks because you saved us. You, who are King and Creator of the world, came to save us. We ask for all those who do not know you so that they may defend the faith. And to you, Mother Mary, thank you for being there in the most difficult moments. Thank you for never getting tired of taking care of us. We love you so much. Amen. Okay, so go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and grab a large mixing bowl. Here you're going to need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to be adding all of that in there. And then you're going to need 1 cup of granulated sugar and 1 cup of light brown sugar. It should be firmly packed to get any clumps of molasses out of there. And then you're also going to need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. And our spices, you are going to need 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. That's a very nice flavor. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now we're going to be whisking these ingredients together. Just break any clumps of the light brown sugar. And we want to get everything lightly distributed. Those spices. So now this carrot cake is very good because of the spices we use. So many carrot cakes are going to use cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ginger, cloves, but I feel like carrot cake shouldn't taste like a gingerbread cake, you know? It should taste like a carrot cake. And yes, carrot cakes are lightly spiced, but the carrots should shine a lot like. So that's why we're using a little bit of spices, and the amounts are small too. So we're done with this. And as you can see, if you're like a cake baker, you may seen that we are using the reverse creaming method, kind of. The traditional creaming method is with butter and sugar. Soften butter and sugar, you cream that together, and then you add all your wet ingredients and everything. We are using this kind of method because it ensures a nice soft crumb cake. Uh, those cakes that use traditional creaming method are so easy to overmix, and if you overmix, your cakes are going to come out dry and dense. For when using these creaming methods where we do the dry ingredients first, it is harder to overmix, so just to be careful. Anyway, we're going to be adding 1 cup of a neutral cooking oil. I'm using vegetable oil today, so you can use avocado or canola. Then we're going to be adding our butter. You're going to need 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, and it should be melted. You're going to be adding this too. And as you can see, mine was melted, but it was not re-solidified. It's cooled, but it's not re-solidified. Okay, so now we're going to use our electric hand or stand mixer to beat these ingredients together. You can use a spatula or a spoon or whatever you have to do this, but the batter is a little bit stiff, so I prefer this. This looks amazing. We're just scraping the bowl to check if there's any dry pockets of there's none. Okay, so once your mixture is looking good, we're going to be adding our eggs. You're going to need 4 large eggs. Preferably they should be at room temperature. They're just going to combine nicely. And always wrap them in a separate mixing bowl to just make sure you get no eggshell, because if you do, you can just fish it out quickly. And we're going to be adding our eggs one at a time. Our second egg. And as you can see, I grabbed a small mixing bowl. It smells amazing because of the cinnamon, all the spices. Scrape the bowl. It is going to be a little bit stiff. Meanwhile, you're adding your eggs. It's going to look perfect once you're done. 3. The mixture is getting a little bit more smooth, but it's very stiff, and that's normal. This cake batter is supposed to be stiff. And our last egg. And for our last egg. Amazing. So now, once you're done, you're going to need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. It may sound a lot, it is not. It adds a nice flavor to the cake. We're going to stir that in. We're going to scrape the bowl. It should be nice and smooth now. And this cake does make a 2-layer cake, in case you were wondering that. Amazing. So now we're going to add our carrots. Now your carrots should be, of course, grated. A note on grating your carrots: you can use a box grater or a food processor. I use box grater, and it made the work done and amazing. So I would just recommend whatever works best for you. You just don't want carrots that are like mash or super thick carrots. You want a nice consistency, you know? So we're going to be adding this. We're going to need 3 cups of grated carrots. And if you're wondering where all the metric measurements are, they're always in the printable recipe where I link to my website. Okay, so now we're going to stir this in carefully and smoothly. My bowl is already overflowing. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to do it with my spatula. Okay, so at this point, our carrot cake batter is not looking very fancy, but I promise you it's going to taste delicious, and you're not going to care how it looks. Anyway, your oven should be preheated by now. Let me just clean my hands. And before we even started with the cake batter, I did prepare my cake pans. You're going to need 2 8-inch cake pans, round cake pans, of course. I have buttered and floured the sides, and I placed a parchment paper in the bottom so my cakes don't stick. That's the worst thing that could happen when you bake a cake. You're all happy and everything, and then when you're going to turn it upside down, it does not come out. That is the worst thing. If you've done that, well, at least you made some cake pops, right? Anyway, so please do the parchment paper trick. These were already pre-cut, but you can also do some by your own. Just put the parchment paper under the pan, circle it with a pencil, and then just cut it, and there you go. So let's go ahead and evenly divide this. Look at me, I just made a mess. Let me just clean this. Okay, evenly divide this. I'm going to do this evenly. Distribute this, which I'm not so great at. You could also weigh each one. I sometimes do that. I'm not a perfectionist, but you could absolutely do that. That didn't go as bad. So once you have divided your cake pans evenly, go ahead and bake them for 40 minutes until the toothpick inserted comes out clean or with a few moist crumbs. Okay, so once your cakes have come out of the oven, we're going to put them in a cooling rack. We're going to let these cool for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. And meanwhile, my cakes are cooling. I'm also preparing my frosting. I'm making a brown butter cream cheese frosting, the one I just shared last week. Super good. I do recommend it for this cake. It goes so well because a carrot cake requires a cream cheese frosting. So I'm already doing it. You should do too. So we're just going to let these cool for 10 minutes and then we're going to put them in a cooling rack. Okay, so once your cakes have cooled for a bit, we're going to get them out of the cake pan. There shouldn't be any sticking because we did grease the pan, but just in case. And as you can see, that was super easy. You see this parchment paper, no sticking. Wonderful. I love it. I just love doing that because there's no sticking. So once you get them out of your cake pans, just go ahead and let them cool completely. You do want to frost these cakes until they are cooled completely. So if you do them while they're still a little bit warm, you can make a huge messy mess, and we don't want that. Okay, so once your cakes have cooled completely and your frosting is done, go ahead and grab I don't know, your cake decorating setup and your tools. I already set up my piping bag and piping tip because I'm going to do some decoration. So the first thing we are going to be doing is grab a little bit of frosting here. This is a gold cake platter that I just have, and I'm going to use it here. So I put a little bit of frosting there, and then I'm going to put my cake. My cakes came out a little bit uneven. It's okay, no big deal. And like I said, I'm using my brown butter frosting. And I did double the recipe for the frosting as my original because that one is good if you're just going to do the decoration outside. But here we are. We're going to be doing the second layer. So you can see it is a little bit tall. And it already smells so good. This cake is already smelling delicious. I like to do some like rustic decorations. Very simple. You could also color your frosting and make cute designs. Just keeping this simple. Okay. And now I'm just going to get a little bit of frosting. I'm going to put it in my piping bag where I also have my piping tip. And I'm going to just put the rest of the frosting because I'm going to make some swirls. This is how you make the best carrot cake. I think you're going to like this one. If you do, please tell me. May God bless you, and I'll see you next time.